Hi, my name is Bryce Moore, and I'll be your comedian. My dad texted me the other day. He said that a deer tested positive for COVID-19. Naturally, that raises a few questions. Who got close enough to give a deer COVID? How did they swab all the way up in a deer's nose? What possessed somebody to swab a deer for COVID in the first place? Now, I think I might have a few answers. Imagine with me for a moment, if you will, a little house next to a little wooded area where a little family lives. Out of that house walks a child into the backyard to play, while outside that child lets out a light cough. A few days later, the child's mother went out into the backyard to inform Mrs. Deer that her son had tested positive for COVID-19, and that baby deer was surely exposed because they had been out there at the same time. So Mrs. Deer went home, and sure enough, baby deer was still in bed, coughing like crazy, could no longer taste or smell anything, didn't feel well at all. Well, Mrs. Deer grabbed her deermometer to check his temperature, and it read like 700 degrees or something, whatever fever would be for a deer. I don't know. Use your imagination as to what deer fever is. Anyway, Mrs. Deer loaded baby deer into her car, and they drove to the finest doctor in all of Wiener, Arkansas, Dr. Richard Dangler. They waited in the waiting room for about 6 or 7 hours because everyone in the world comes to see Dr. Richard Dangler here in Wiener. But eventually they went back and they got to greet the doctor. And Mrs. Deer told the doctor all of baby deer's symptoms. And he decided that it would be absolutely necessary to swab baby deer for COVID-19. And Mrs. Deer said, "But doctor, how can you swab the nose of a deer? It's much too large." And folks, this right here is what makes old Doc Dick Dangler so great. You see, this doctor has bigger and better equipment than any other doctor in all the land. That's it for this episode of Stand Up Comedy. Thank you so very much for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you again next time.